throat. I don't know about you and your partner, but this girl right here has had a very reliable gag reflex her entire life. In fact, once I learned that deep throating even was a thing, maybe like 15, 16 years old, I learned that you could use a toothbrush and make yourself gag a little bit every time you brushed your teeth, and that would get rid of your gag reflex. And I'm here to say, 20-ish years later, that is not true. If that were true, I wouldn't have had a gag reflex since... Let's not get into it. Moral of the story is, I was recently hanging out with sex educator Reed Mihalko, and he taught me this incredible trick. I can't believe I lived my whole life without learning this technique. So if you have a gag reflex and you would like to work on being able to deep throat, here is the trick. All right, do it with me, or call your partner into the room so she can do it with me. We're gonna begin by making a shocked, sort of gaspy breath in. Let's do that a couple times. Now, notice when you do that there's a little muscle in your throat that sort of pulls down and back. You can feel it when you go. So now let's make that same motion without breathing the air in. You can feel like you're pulling this little muscle in your back of your throat down, and almost, to me, it feels like it's getting like flat. It's being flattened against the esophagus. I don't know if that's literally what's happening, but sensorily, that's what it feels like. This is the trick. When you go to insert something into your throat, you make that face and you hold it. You hold that muscle down for as long as possible. Now, this is a skill just like any other skill. This is a muscle just like any other muscle, and it will naturally take time in order to develop this. But once you've got this sort of motion down, you can really practice and you can begin to hold that for longer and longer and longer periods of time, and that should allow you to have something bypass your throat without too much discomfort and without causing you to gag. One additional pro tip that Reed taught us during this class is that there is nothing else that you can do. Once you start to gag, all you can do is pull the out of your throat. That's it. There's no pro tip for like overcoming that gag. Once it is started, you've just got to remove this thing from your throat. No shame in that. Remember, your gag reflex developed over literally hundreds of thousands of years to keep you alive when stuff went down the wrong pipe. When stuff went down that you didn't want going down. This is what kept your ancestors alive so that they could mate and raise you so that you could be here today watching this video on deep throat. So please don't make yourself wrong for having a gag reflex. You didn't choose it. In fact, it was in some ways guaranteed your existence. Consider also that for some people, it just might not be possible, and there's nothing wrong with that either. It doesn't make you any less of a lover. It doesn't make you any less cool. And honestly, until porn really came on the scene and internet porn, deep throating wasn't really a thing until all of that. So don't get too caught up on it. It's a nice thing to be able to give to your partner if you're interested in it. I wish you the best. You've got a technique now that should help. It will help. Please go into the comments and write about how much that it helped. And if you're never able to do it, that's okay too. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is not the area to be too hard on yourself. Let it be hard in other ways, but not this way. I'm Caitlin B. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure that you're subscribed so that you never miss another video that will help you to have the best sex of your life. And I will see you here next week. Bye.